Jake Thompson is a firefighter in Bozeman, Montana. He's 34, makes $58,000 a year, and 2 weeks ago, he got his eviction notice. Not because he missed rent, not because he broke any rules, but because his landlord sold the building to someone from California who paid cash, and the new owner wants to triple the rent. Jake's pulled people out of burning buildings. He's worked every Christmas for 5 years. He protects this city, and now he can't afford to live in it. This isn't just about Jake. All across Montana, the people who actually make your towns work, teachers, firefighters, nurses, cops, they're being pushed out, and most of them have nowhere else to go. If you're in Montana or thinking about moving there, you need to hear this. Drop a comment right now and tell me what state you're in. I want to know who's watching. Let's talk about why Montana is losing the people who matter most.
Reason number 1, rent in Montana jumped so fast that paychecks became worthless. In 2019, a 2-bedroom apartment in Bozeman cost $1,200 a month. Today, $2,400. That's double in 5 years. Some places hit $2,800 for the exact same apartment, same building. Nothing changed except the price. Now do the math with me. A starting teacher in Montana makes $42,000 a year. After taxes, that's $3,000 a month. If rent is $2,400, you've got $600 left for food, for gas, for car insurance, for everything. You can't survive on $600 a month. It's impossible. Firefighters aren't better off. Average salary is $55,000. After rent and taxes, they're looking at maybe $1,000 a month for life. And these are people working 48-hour shifts, running into burning buildings, and they're choosing between groceries and gas. Here's what broke me. A teacher in Missoula told the news she's living in a camper because she couldn't find an apartment under $2,000. A camper in Montana winters because she wanted to teach kids in her hometown. If that makes you angry, hit the like button right now. Seriously, because this gets worse. Rent isn't just high, it's unaffordable by design. According to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition, you need to make $25.50 an hour just to afford a basic 2-bedroom in Montana. But the median wage here is $21.50. So even working full-time, you're $8,000 short every year. Teachers, firefighters, nurses, they're all making less than what's needed just to exist here. And landlords don't care, because there's always someone from out of state who will pay whatever they ask.
Reason number 2, home ownership in Montana went from hard to literally impossible. Back in 2015, the median home in Bozeman was $310,000. Expensive, but a teacher married to a firefighter could save up, get a loan, and own something. It was tight, but possible. Today, that same house is $750,000. And we're talking about a 1,400 square foot ranch built in the 70s with 1 bathroom and an outdated kitchen. $750,000. Let's do more math. To buy that house, you need $75,000 cash for the down payment. Then your mortgage is $5,200 a month. A teacher making $42,000 brings home $3,000 a month. They'd need to earn 3 times their salary just to qualify. It's not happening. The door is closed. And here's the part that'll make your blood boil. Over 35% of Montana home sales in 2023 went to out-of-state buyers, more than 1 in 3. A lot of them paying full cash, no inspections, $50,000 over asking. So you've got Jake, the firefighter, who saved $40,000 over 5 years. He finds a house, makes an offer, and loses to someone from Seattle who drops $500,000 in cash like it's nothing. If you've ever lost a home to a cash buyer, drop your story in the comments. I'll read every single one. People need to see how common this is. Towns like Kalispell and Missoula used to be affordable backups. Not anymore. Median prices there are $550,000. Great Falls, the budget option, is pushing $400,000. There's nowhere left. The dream of owning a home, the thing that defined middle-class life in America, it's gone for Montana's essential workers. And without a home, you can't build wealth. You can't put down roots. You're stuck renting forever, one price hike away from leaving the state.
Reason number 3, salaries barely moved while costs doubled. Montana teacher salaries in 2015, $36,000 starting pay. Today, $42,000. That's a $6,000 raise over 9 years. Sounds okay until you realize inflation in Montana hit 45% in that same time. So teachers got a 16% raise while their expenses went up 45%. That's a 29% pay cut in real money. Firefighters, same story. Went from $48,000 to $55,000, a 14% bump. But rent doubled, groceries jumped 25%, gas up 30%, insurance up 40%. A 14% raise doesn't touch a 50% spike in living costs. Montana ranks 48th in the nation for teacher pay. Only 2 states pay teachers worse. Firefighters rank 42nd. These are people with degrees, with critical skills, getting paid like it's 2005 while living in a 2024 economy. Here's what that looks like in real life. A teacher in Whitefish drives for Uber on weekends and summers just to cover rent. A firefighter in Billings works construction between his shifts to buy groceries. These people have college degrees, they save lives, they shape the next generation, and they're working gig jobs to survive. If you're a teacher or firefighter struggling to make ends meet, comment "same" right now. Let people know how real this is. One word, just type "same." You're not alone. Montana's property tax revenue went up 40% in the last 5 years because home values exploded. The money exists, it's just not going to the workers who need it. Instead, local governments say we don't have the budget while approving tax breaks for new businesses. Over 700 teaching positions in Montana went unfilled in 2023, record high. Some districts are hiring people with no teaching credentials just to fill classrooms. Fire stations in small towns are closing because they can't recruit staff. You can't run a state without teachers and firefighters, but Montana's paying them like they're optional. Reason number 4, Montana natives are being forced out of their own state. This one hurts the most. Montana used to be a place where families stayed for generations. You grew up in Kalispell, went to college in Missoula, came back home, raised your kids near your parents. That's done. Jessica Martin grew up in Billings, got her teaching degree from University of Montana, wanted to teach in her hometown, applied everywhere within 50 miles, got an offer for $41,000, found a 1-bedroom for $1,500, did the math and realized she'd have $800 a month left after rent and taxes. So she moved to Colorado. Now she makes $58,000, pays the same $1,500 rent, but actually has money to live on. Same rent, way better life. Montana lost a teacher who wanted to stay, who loved this state, who had roots here. That story is everywhere now. Between 2020 and 2023, over 15,000 Montana residents aged 25 to 40 left the state. That's the exact group you need for teachers, firefighters, nurses, police. And they're gone because the numbers don't work. A fire chief in Libby lost 3 firefighters in 1 year, all moved out of state for better pay and lower rent. He's trying to hire replacements, but when he tells people the salary is $52,000 and rent is $1,800, they laugh and hang up. If you had to leave Montana because you couldn't afford it, drop your city in the comments. I want to make a follow-up video with your stories. Share this if you know someone who left. Schools are consolidating. Some districts moved to 4-day weeks, not because it's better, but because they can't staff 5 days. Fire stations are going volunteer only. Rural towns are losing services because there's nobody left to run them. Meanwhile, the people moving in, often retirees or remote workers with money from expensive states. They're not filling teacher or firefighter jobs, they're just buying homes and driving up prices. Montana's becoming a playground for people who don't work here, and the people who do, they're leaving.
Let's go back to Jake, the firefighter we started with. He found a place to live, but it's 45 minutes from his station. He's commuting 90 minutes a day, spending $400 a month on gas, and he's already applying for jobs in Idaho and Wyoming, where the pay is better and life costs less. Montana's losing Jake, and it's losing hundreds of people like him every month. Here's what that means. If you're thinking about moving to Montana for a teaching job or a firefighting position, understand this. The middle class doesn't exist there anymore. The math doesn't work. Do your research before you uproot your life. If you already live there and you're struggling, you're not failing. The system is failing you. Your salary should cover rent. You shouldn't need 3 jobs to survive. That's not on you. And if you're one of the people who moved to Montana from California or Texas or Washington, I'm not saying you're evil, but recognize that your arrival changed everything for the people who were already there. When you buy a house with cash, someone who's lived there their whole life loses that house. It might not be your fault, but it's the reality. Here's what I need from you. Comment below and answer these 3 questions. 1. What state are you in? 2. Could you afford to live there on a teacher or firefighter salary? 3. Do you know someone who had to leave Montana because of cost? Answer all 3. I'm reading every comment.
If this video opened your eyes to what's actually happening, smash that like button. It helps more people see this. And if you know anyone thinking about moving to Montana for work, send them this video. They need to know the truth before they make that decision. Montana is one of the most beautiful places in America, but beauty doesn't pay bills. And right now, the people who protect Montana, who teach Montana's kids, who keep Montana running, they can't afford to live there. That's not sustainable. Something has to break. The question is, will it break before Montana loses everyone who matters? Subscribe if you want to see more videos about what's really happening to America's middle class. I'm not stopping with Montana. This is happening everywhere, and somebody needs to talk about it. Jake deserves better. Jessica deserves better. Every teacher and firefighter trying to survive in Montana deserves better. And until something changes, they're going to keep leaving. Thanks for watching. Now go drop those comments. I'll see you in the next one.